Hi everyone, in this video we're going to show you how to take and interpret your Omega balance test. Now remember, the Omega balance test is a dried blood spot test, so it requires a finger prick blood sample. The test will measure 11 fatty acids in your blood and it will give you your omega 6:3 balance ratio, which is the key. And these results will be available within 20 days of doing the test. The ideal omega balance is 3:1, but remember that the average in the Western world is 15:1, and that's because our diet generally contains far too much omega 6 and too little omega 3. Also, if your initial omega balance test comes back as satisfactory before taking your balance oils, remember you can send all your products back and get a full refund. The laboratory in Norway where your test sample is sent to is completely independent of Zinzino and has the largest database of these types of tests in the world. The lab also runs tests for world-renowned institutions around the world, such as the University of Oxford, so you can be assured of unbiased results.
Hi.
Hey.
I've got my test.
Brilliant.
Got it in the post. So we're going to go through the stages of how to take your test. In the test kit, you'll receive your instructions, 2 lancets, a sample card where the blood spots go onto, a sealed metal envelope which you then place inside of this envelope that you'll send in the post.
So the first stage is you need to wash your hands. The second part is you'll see on your sample card that there is a tag on it which says save. So you need to tear that off and take a picture of it because that has your test ID on it and you'll need to save that number. It's important to take a photo of that test ID number as only you will have access to your results and you'll need that to log in to be able to see your results later.
You then take the alcohol swab, open it up and make sure that you clean your index finger thoroughly.
Then remove the see-through cap on the lancet and now we're going to make the finger prick on the finger. You okay for me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Press onto the finger and just push down and that will automatically create a finger, and then turn your finger above and just start to gently squeeze. When placing the blood onto the sample card, to not touch the actual filter paper. You want the blood to drip freely onto the sample card and you need a minimum of 3 drops per circle, but you want to make sure that the inner part of those circles are completely covered.
Once you've finished filling the circles and you've left your sample card for 10 minutes, you can then take it and pop it back into the sleeve, like so, and then put it into the metal sealed envelope. There is a little drying bag inside the metal envelope. Make sure that stays in. You do not need to remove it. There we go.
Brilliant. And then the last thing is to take this and put it into the paper envelope. Now the address is already on it, but you'll need to make sure that you've got the correct amount of postage stamps. So if you're unsure, go into your local post office. So that's your test ready to go. There is just one other step to do, and that's to go online to www.zinzinotest.com and register your test online there. And remember, you will need your test ID code. Please keep hold of this and then use this later within 10 to 20 days from doing the test to access your results.
So I've just received a notification that my test results are back. So I've logged in with my unique ID and I really want Martin to go through my results with me.
So when you look at these results, they can look complicated at first glance, but they're really not. Right at the top of the test, There are 6 main indicators.
The first one is the omega 6:3 balance, the one that we're always talking about. And remember, we want it ideally below 3:1, and as you can see, Hannah's is a bit high at 14.4:1. So when the balance is high like that, when we're out of balance, our cells are a bit more rigid, less fluidity. And so that brings us on to the second important indicator, which is the cell membrane fluidity. And again, so this would make sense that this is out as well. You can see it should be below 4.4:1, and Hannah's is 14.1:1. Just underneath, remember that the test records a panel of 11 fatty acids in your blood. So here they are all listed here. So if you're interested in those, and it will give you the type of fat that they are, their target values, and your value. Moving on from that, when we go on to the sort of second pages, we've got things like the dietary indicators, which tells us about the different types of fats. And obviously here you can see it's highly recommending the intake of balanced oils. And just underneath that, it will tell you about saturated, polyunsaturated, and monounsaturated fats. And obviously Hannah needs to decrease those, and she needs to increase her polyunsaturated fat from fish.
There's also quite a lot of detailed information about diet and health. It's really worth having a little read if you're interested. There's quite a lot of information here. And as we go through, there's a bit more information on it as well here. So it does, the benefit of this really as well is that it does give you some diet advice as well. So, and it in this table here, you can see that they've broken it down: saturated fat, monosaturated, unsaturated vegetable fat, all of these categories and all of the different foods that are associated with these categories. It also gives you some information of sources of fatty acids in your diet. And on the last page, again, we've got some more information here. So it is quite comprehensive.
Yeah, as I say, you've got that sort of snapshot that you can look at with the indicators to give you results. It also then gives you some very, very useful information on what to take in terms of the balanced oils, and to help improve the right types of fats in your blood and decrease the bad types of fat, and also how you can modify your diet at home as well with the information provided.
Once Hannah's used the balanced oil for 120 days, we'll retake this test and we'll hopefully start to see these indicators go green.